Hello everyone, welcome back to the Legacy of War channel. Please subscribe and like my videos. Imagine the moment when the very pillars of power begin to tremble when a once invincible leader sees his own military turn its back. The headline screams, "Total collapse. Belarus military turns against Lukashenko." Today we dig into that scenario, what it means, how it might unfold, and why it matters. We start with the dramatic backdrop. Deep inside Belarus, the regime of Alexander Lukashenko has long stood as a fortress. But cracks are appearing. Reports of military readiness checks, shifting allegiances, and heightened tensions with the West and with neighboring powers signal a change. For example, on October 11, 2025, Lukashenko ordered the armed forces into a full combat readiness inspection amid growing security concerns. The question now, what if parts of the Belarusian military actually turn against him? What are the exterior, interior, performance, safety features, and unique selling points of that collapse? What would the price of this change be? Let's walk through it, scene by scene. Externally, you'd see a shifting military posture. Tanks on move, troops repositioning, maybe some defecting units. You'd notice changes at key installations. Command centers buzzing, communications going dark, rumors swirling about loyalty and orders. The outside image of Lukashenko's control would crack. Parades may be cancelled, banners replaced, sound of boots changed to murmurs of dissent. The facade of unity would face its biggest test. Interior, wise the castle walls are shaking. Inside the regime, fear, mistrust, and betrayals. Senior officers wondering whether to follow orders or switch sides. Commanders debating whether obedience to Lukashenko is worth the risk. A short snapshot. Behind closed doors, aides whisper about alternative leadership. Generals eye each other's eyes for signs of defection. The internal stability is destabilizing, and that's the heart of collapse. On the performance front, the military's ability to carry out operations shifts. Where once the armed forces were disciplined and loyal, you might see delays in executing orders, divisions of command, units refusing to move, or even siding with opposition. Training exercises might be cancelled, readiness levels drop, morale falters. The sliding scale of performance failure becomes visible in logistics breakdowns, communications disruptions, weapons being withheld or redirecting, orders being ignored or delayed. Safety features in this context, what holds the regime and the conflict in check. Traditionally, the strongman has relied on security forces, intelligence networks, loyal units, internal repression. But when the military starts to waver, the safety net deteriorates. Special forces might break ranks, internal security may leak orders, even nuclear. Capable systems could become unstable. Safety features such as chain of command, loyalty of the troops, secure communications, safe bunkers, and assets all become compromised. For example, Lukashenko's own bunker and inner circle security may no longer guarantee protection if the military leadership flips. Unique selling points of the collapse scenario. From an analytical viewpoint, what makes this situation stand out? First, the rarity of a sitting autocrat facing mass military disobedience. Second, the geopolitical ramifications. Belarus occupies a strategic position between Russia, Ukraine, and NATO states. Third, the ripple effects. If Belarus's military turns, it could trigger a cascade of regime change, border shifts, security upheavals in Eastern Europe. Fourth, the media attention and historical significance. Few comparable moments in post-Soviet space. Fifth, the potential for new alliances, for opportunistic actors to step in. All these make the collapse scenario highly salient. The price of such collapse, not in dollars but in consequences. Domestic, thousands might be arrested, civil conflict could erupt, infrastructure could fail, economy could crash. International, border skirmishes, refugee flows, sanctions, military interventions. There's also a human cost, lives lost, families torn, institutions destroyed, and for Lukashenko personally, loss of power, exile, or worse, the price is steep. In conclusion, this is a dramatic, high-stakes scenario. If the Belarusian military turns against Lukashenko, we could be witnessing a watershed moment in European security. The facade of invulnerability would shatter, the internal regime would fracture, performance of state apparatus would falter, safety nets would collapse, and new power dynamics would emerge. The cost will be high, but for historians and analysts, the significance is immense. If you found this breakdown helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe. Stay tuned for updates and deep dives on this developing story.